Texas's defensive coordinator, Pete Kwiatkowski, said the Eagles got the next Buda Baker. Dallas still stinks. You're by the way, Dingbat here, and the Eagles have OTAs tomorrow, but in the meantime, I hope each and every one of you guys are enjoying your holiday weekend, and thank you, special thank you to all those that have served, all those that have sacrificed for this country. We appreciate it and honor you today. Thank you so much. Now, in this video, being that it's a holiday, being that there's not a lot going on, and the Eagles start OTAs tomorrow, I wanted to kind of keep this a little lighthearted, not too serious, but I needed to come on here and basically have a YouTube intervention for another content creator on here who is going to have a nervous breakdown this year. His walls are closing in. His rhetoric is about to come to an end, and we need to help this guy out. But in the meantime, before we get into that, I want to talk about the position I'm most interested in this summer, going into OTAs and then camp, and that is the safety spot. What are the Eagles going to do to replace C.J. Gardner-Johnson? Now, they got Sidney Brown. They drafted Andrew Mukuba. And I came across an article, and it was in The Athletic, and it was talking about Andrew Mukuba and why the Eagles might have gotten the next Buda Baker. I suggest, if you haven't read the article, definitely check it out. I'll try to put the link in the description. But it said, could Eagles rookie safety Andrew Mukuba start? Winding road to the NFL prepped him for the challenge, and it talked about him coming up, learning the game of football from childhood to college, and a couple interesting things that it said. One, he was at Clemson. When they changed defensive coordinators, he kind of went to nickel, wasn't too happy there, and then he went to Texas last year because he wanted to prep himself for the NFL, okay? Mukuba's purpose at Texas was essentially to prepare himself for the NFL by returning to free safety. He was playing a lot of nickel there and resuming the progress he'd experienced under Venables. I don't know how to pronounce his name. On-field communication is considered a prerequisite for NFL safeties, and Mukuba wasn't in charge of checks at Clemson. Nickel safeties handle all communication into Texas defensive coordinator Pete Kwiatkowski's system. They monitor the opposing offense's formations and splits while relaying the framework of the defense coverage to the linebackers. So he went there to be able to do checks and stuff and improve his game and make himself more valuable for an NFL team. Now, the Eagles, they were looking for a guy that could cover, okay? And he could cover, he could play all different alignments. And this is why, to me, he is the most fascinating person to watch going into OTAs, because the truth of the matter is we need him to start. I need him to start. And I don't say that against Sidney Brown, but for his skill set, for what he does, I think the Eagles want him to start. And look, we've had great success, and I got other videos coming out on this. The Eagles got great success playing young guys. When they started playing their young guys, they got better. And I don't see any reason to change that up. He needs to start. Now, I don't care if you go out and get Justin Simmons. I don't care if you don't get Justin Simmons. But either way, I want this kid to end up starting, okay? The Eagles most appreciate the versatility of Mukuba's affords them in coverage. Roseman emphasized upon drafting him that it's really hard to find cover safeties. Mukuba punctuated that portion of his resume with a game-winning interception against Arizona State, and blah, 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 blah. But versatility can be an empty buzzword. Mukuba played different alignments at both Texas and Clemson, but to Kwiatkowski, I can't pronounce his name, versatility when directly applied to Mukuba means he attached with the following. He can play zone coverage, he can play man coverage, he can communicate, he can blitz, block, and tackle. He can do it all. So even though he's undersized, he still can play, okay? And to me, the best thing that they said about him was Kawakowski and Gideon have often compared Mukuba to another undersized safety Kawakowski coached at Washington, Budda Baker. Budda Baker came out, was 5'10", 195, a two-time All-Pro, seven-time Pro Bowler for the Arizona Cardinals, whom Gideon says also plays bigger than his size. He plays a lot like Budda Baker. He likes to throw shit around. If he plays like Budda Baker, we are set, okay? So you got coaches who coach both Budda Baker and him saying, yeah, this kid is a lot like him. And yeah, he's listed at like 185, I think, something like that. But from when he came to visit the Eagles, they said he's about 190 right now. He's in the 190s. So he's got to put on some weight. He's got to get bigger. But the kid can cover, and I think for that reason, I think he's the most interesting guy to watch, the most interesting position, because I like Sidney Brown. I see Sidney Brown more in Reed Blankenship role than that C.J. Gardner-Johnson role. So I think this kid's going to be perfect. I think he's going to end up starting, and I think we're going to have to go through growing pains, of course. But you know what? I'll take it. I like what we got with this kid. Now, changing subjects really quick, and like I said, I'm not. It's the day before OTAs. It's a holiday, and I'm sitting there, and I was cleaning my grill yesterday, right? And I had Mark Holmes live stream on, and I got this live stream on, and he's talking. They're talking all sorts of nonsense. Like the delusion has no bounds. Okay, but then the live stream ended while I was doing something, and my phone is on YouTube. It's like on autoplay, so as soon as something ends, it goes to another video. It just randomly picks it. I don't know how it decides, but all of a sudden his stream ends and it goes to another video he did, and this is a video last year, and in the video he's talking about how the Dallas Cowboys are better than they were the year before. Okay? So he's saying the team that he complains about and blah, 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 he's saying that team's actually better on paper than the team that had just won 12 games prior. And he also mentions 3 or 4 times that Dak Prescott was Dak Prescott in that Cowboys offense was the number 1 offense the year previous. So tell me, how does a number 1 offense, how can you make the excuse that they don't have weapons and they can't do anything? How can you justify that? If you have the number 1 offense and you can't do anything in the playoffs, it usually means your quarterback choked, okay? Then it gets worse. Then I'm sitting there, that video ends, and another video comes up, more recent, and on the video, he's complaining that the Washington Commander fans are talking crap, and that they have no reason to talk because they haven't done anything in 30 years. What has the Cowboys done in 30 years? Should he not be under the same judgment as Commanders fans? The Cowboys haven't done anything. I mean, the Commanders have made it to an NFC Championship game. The Dallas Cowboys haven't sniffed one. Haven't even sniffed an NFC Championship game. And it's just amazing to me. This guy is so delusional. And he's what he's doing right now is he's doing these 8-9 Cowboy Eagle videos a day on the Cowboys channel. And I have no problem with it. You want to do it, do it. But he keeps saying, the Eagle fans are emailing me and they're attacking. They're so obsessed with the Cowboys. I don't think it's true. I don't think anybody is obsessed with the Cowboys. I think he is trying to get under our skin. I think he is talking a lot of shit for his Cowboys, and he's trying to put it on us Eagle fans. It's not us. We don't care about the Dallas Cowboys. All right? We don't care. But he's all in. He's got no choice. And this is what I'm saying. We gotta reach out to Mark. People gotta pray for him. Pray for him. Because he ain't gonna make it. Because now that Dak Prescott went out and the Cowboys got a receiver. Now, even under Mark's delusion, he's got weapons. They've got to go win. So what's he going to do when they lose again, or they lose in the first round of the playoffs, and they choke? What's he going to do? What's he going to say? We don't have weapons. We don't have a run game. We don't have this. We don't have that. You're out of excuses. All those years that he's made excuses for Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, it's all coming to an end this year. There's nothing he can say. When Dak chokes or loses in the playoffs or doesn't make the playoffs, he can't. He's not going to be able to get out of it. What's he going to say? They don't have a run game? Okay? He mentioning in previous videos that the Cowboys, that Dak was MVP runner-up and they had the number one offense. You have the number one offense, you should win. You should win. So I think this guy is writing checks his ass can't cash. The Cowboys' ass can't cash. He's in trouble. And that's why he's doing all these videos. He's saying the Eagle fans are saying this, saying that. Oh, all he does is talk crap on the Eagles. And he keeps saying Eagle fans just hate Dak Prescott. They hate Dak. Nobody hates Dak Prescott. I love Dak Prescott. I love him. I love him with the Cowboys because I know you're guaranteed to choke. It is amazing to me, the delusion. Okay, last year, the Cowboys, they were seasoned veterans. Fine wine, that's what you want. You don't want a lot of young guys. This year, you want a lot of young guys. Man, he is losing his mind. You think last year was bad? Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. And to me, the worst thing for the Cowboys is playing the Eagles week 1. Because your offense, your whole team, it may take a while to get adjusted. Meanwhile, you're going to come right out of week 1 down to the Eagles, and the best you could hope for is to split. Dallas is in big trouble. They're in big trouble, and therefore Mark is in big trouble. And people need to look out for him because I don't know that he's going to make it through the year. I'm just saying, I don't know. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how I vision. We're all just living in it.
Commanders, shut up. Shut the hell up. Go all the way on the top of Shut Up Mountain. You didn't even win the division. The last time you won the division was because everybody else was ass. You won it at 7-9. People talk about our trophies being dusty. We won 3 since the last time you won one.
The 16th of June, I'm going to say the Cowboys potentially are a better team than they were last year. That's not the narrative that you get from the talking heads, but I think this team is going to be really, really good. What do you think, baby? It's been in those oak barrels and stuff, collecting that flavor. And that also you have to look at and talk about Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks is getting older, but again, he's been in this seasoned rum barrel, aging. And I think that he is going to end up being the X factor for us this year. Not that many people have been talking about him, but from a leadership standpoint, it seems like he is becoming the default leader on the offense here, which I'm okay with because he's been a veteran. He's worked with great quarterbacks and offenses like Tom Brady and things, that he brings a lot of experience to this team. And then you look at from Jake Ferguson from his first year to his second, and if he can stay healthy, you can look at him and say he may end up becoming as important for offense as, say, a George Kittle for San Francisco. Now, I know people will say, yeah, but you got Zeke back, but I don't know that Zeke is that much worse than what we got last year from Tony Pollard. And even with Tony Pollard having a down year, our offense was number 1 in the NFL. Potentially, the offense that scored as many points as last year should be able to do the same thing this year.
That's all, folks.
The brother screwed us.